pushing the frat button. Alright, I'm back here for game number 2, and I have a friend this time. You know him as Gigantus, ByronGiant, God, the Messiah, the purveyor of replays, or simply Norman Tugwater.
Attorney at law.
Fantasy attorney at law.
Due to a quasi-legal statute, I am able to secure a position as color commentator.
If you do not understand who Norman Tugwater is, I suggest you look it up on YouTube.
I will preface the whole shenanigans by saying that it is a commercial. However, it doesn't really matter.
It is the only commercial actually worth watching. Anyways, we have a slight change up on the teams. Jiggerman and MsChif have moved over to BockNakkers. Going the other way, we have Rams22 joining Reavers Cons, and 2 new players, Jdawg159 and Kevin939. We lost Jackbrody, I don't know why, and we lost Go Andrew because it was his bedtime.
You mean I don't get to watch Andrew cry?
I can give you that replay.
Oh, I believe it's available on YouTube.
It is available on YouTube as well. Anyways, top lane matchup will be, again, Dr. Mundo versus Darius, this time, though, with Kevin playing the role of Darius instead of Jackbrody. The middle matchup will be Ramza as Lux taking on Jiggerman as Swain. In the jungle, we will have MsChif playing Shyvana, and we will have, when he finally connects to the game, Jdawg playing Jarvan the Fourth. And the bottom lane matchup is identical to last time. It's just the supports have changed their characters to Fiddlesticks for Viking Sun and Sona for BockNack.
Purveyor of fine Bocknog.
He is the purveyor of fine Bocknog.
From his home on BockNack Mountain.
BockNack Mountain. This is just getting worse. It's an RCAF tradition. If we don't make fun of your name, we don't like you.
That's very true.
Minions have spawned.
Seems to be kind of a lot of guys in one particular area there.
Yeah, that's the red buff. Basically what they're trying to do there is to get MsChif the red buff without her having to use her Smite Summoner.
Interesting.
So basically she can save it for something else and still have the red buff.
User joined your
I would like to...
Mia sucks.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of recording.
In the middle of recording, Reaver.
Old man, read the fucking sign. Know what I'm saying?
Alright, so we got the blue team going for red buff. That's really all that's happening on the map right now. Viking putting down a couple of wards. And the purple team's jungler still, you know, sort of AFK, not able to actually play the game at this point, it seems. He does reconnect, I'm told this. Yeah, there we are. We had a 4-on-4 there for a while because Althos also did not connect. The joys of online gaming when you, this is the advantage of doing like a LAN situation because you can just pause the game when people don't connect. But you can't do that online. There we are. Jdawg's back in.
Everybody else is minioning, and Jdawg is just sitting there masturbating.
Well, he's probably trying to figure out his build now because I don't think he's jungled Jarvan before. So
I know
a premiere first. BockNack and Viking exchanging some pleasantries as Togwell gets involved in this as well. But the first blood goes to Bock. But he was never getting out of that alive.
So far, I've not seen Kevin kill anything at all. I think he's just standing around.
He does have 7 CS.
Ah, well, that's good.
He is out farming Althos, but that being said, Althos was AFK until like, you know, a minute ago.
We have had an outside influence upon the room.
Probably rude.
I would say that's probably the case, yeah.
Anyways, Jarvan the Fourth getting himself all blue buffed up. We'll see if Kevin times his Noxian Guillotine better than Jackbrody did in the last game, because Jack was using his Noxian Guillotine, the ult for Darius there, way too early, and could not kill Dr. Mundo, which is not surprising because Dr. Mundo is a big vial of health. See, and Brannigan's Law kind of screwing up here because, you know, he should be shooting Viking. If he shoots Viking, they probably get a kill. But he doesn't.
That's kind of a problem.
Brannigan's Law, of course, is played by the infamous Nilo.
That would explain so much.
Much like Togwell is played by the equally infamous but beloved Gratch.
Very much so. I notice he's using a thing that shoots shells from long distance. That is totally in keeping with the theme of
Indeed,
Gratch.
he loves Tristana for A, her voice clips, and B, her cannon.
Dead cannon.
Because he loves the fact that when he locks in the character, she says, "I want to shoot something." Just love at first sight. Personally, I think that he'll enjoy the character Graves because, let's face it, Graves' passive is True Grit.
That is very good. Entirely appropriate.
It is very appropriate. I believe that as much as Gragas is the League of Legends equivalent to Hugh, I believe Graves is probably the League of Legends equivalent to Gratch. A little bit of fun going on here in the middle. Jiggerman getting a little bit better of that exchange. In the meantime, in the top lane, Kevin is out-leveling Althos, but of course Althos was AFK. Oh, here's something interesting. We have Shyvana, aka MsChif, looking at the enemy red buff, noting that it is not there. I would like if the camera would take us there. There we are.
Could be handy.
She puts a little harass on the Jdawg.
Harassing Jdawg is what I do.
It's also what the Night Queen does. She retreats into her own jungle, realizing that the prized red buff is not actually there, which means there's no red buff on the map for her. Not so good for Shyvana, who lacks a little bit of crowd control when it comes to being able to successfully ambush people. And Viking and Tog getting beat up pretty well here in the middle lane, but Jdawg has come to gank Althos. Not successfully, it doesn't look like. So let's see here. Let's see how the CS is going here for Kevin. Kevin is now being out-farmed by Althos. So I'm starting to think I was under the false impression when he said that he farmed well this game. And potential gank here from MsChif. They don't have a ward there, but it looks like she thinks they do. So she's going to back out. So a mistake there, but an understandable one since she can't tell if it's warded or not. She's going to go counter jungle a little bit and go grab some wolves instead.
I noticed that BockNakkers spends a lot of time healing up Nilo.
Yeah, well, he is a healer, so
Fair enough.
it is admittedly his job to heal the ADC, but it is also partially because I think Nilo tends to wander too far ahead. It tends to sit really far back, so Nilo, when you're watching this video, we need to work on that. You need to find that happy medium where you can farm but not get harassed incessantly. Kind of like right there, you're too close.
You're too close, man.
And Jigger's in a little bit of trouble here because that is a pretty close to full health Ramza. And she does have an ult that, well, if you've not seen the Lux ult, it's a giant laser.
Neat. Kind of like that.
Most people are a fan of the laser ult, yes. Not necessarily the champion in general, but the laser ult is pretty cool. It's a bit interesting to see Ramza and Jigger not using skins for a change. And there's the ult.
I think I'm ahead of you.
It's possible. I mean, we did sync this up via a 1, 2, 3 countdown over TeamSpeak, so...
Yeah, and also I've got it loaded on a solid-state drive, so...
that'll go a little faster then, yes. So you're probably a couple seconds ahead.
What's your time count?
I'm currently at 9 minutes.
I'm at, yeah, 15 ahead.
Okay, so 15 seconds?
Yep.
Okay. We'll have to deal. We will have to deal.
Cool. That's cool. I can observe and digest, and then you can say stuff, and I will agree or disagree.
Oh, that's good. That works for me.
I I would like to make it known right now, if you don't have a clue, I really don't play League of Legends. I played a couple of games back in the day, and by back in the day I mean like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I recently played a game like last week, and that's about the extent of my League of Legends kind of stuff.
Yeah, you are here mostly for your rousing personality.
Yay! And because I'm so pretty.
Yes. You add the appeal to this cast of photogenicness and personality appeal.
Oh,
Jigger back in lane, Jdawg in a little bit of trouble. Now, I'm going to have to talk to Kevin about this use of the crystalline flask. Something that I think the characters he plays top lane, and people are feel free to disagree in the comments, of course. But when I look at his champion selection and what he likes to play top lane, which is mostly Darius and Master Yi, I don't think he needs the crystalline flask. But he does get a kill there on Ults.
Maybe he's just really insecure and he has to have that blink.
In the meantime, MsChif kills Jdawg, but Ramza gets MsChif. So early on, 4-2 lead here for the purple team. They are also up about 500 gold. And no turrets have gone down. Farming differences, the jungle is starting to really favor MsChif. 44-24 in CS count. And everyone else is pretty much in the same ballpark as their respective opponent. Actually, compliment time for Nilo, actually. He's got a reasonable lead on Gratch in the CS count at 48-34.
That is surprising.
So, as much as, you know, throughout these 2 videos I've discussed some flaws of the Brennigan's Law / Nilo play, he does do a good job farming. And Fiddlesticks ults. Nilo gets caught in that. That being said, he probably doesn't know what the Fiddle's ult is, to be honest. I don't know if he's ever seen a Fiddlesticks. Again, just a disclaimer for people who are expecting like high-level League of Legends play here. Only 4 of these players are actually level 30s. So, there is going to be a fair amount of, I would say, understandable mistakes when you take into the account of how new these players are. And everyone's also dumbed down to level 12 greens and masters to allow this to be fair. Because otherwise, I mean, a level 30 would just come and basically power bomb one of the lower level accounts.
I'd like to see that.
It'd be interesting, and maybe someday we will do that. But for what is like kind of a first experience of kind of, I don't want to say call this competitive play per se, but I mean there's some bragging rights on the line here for all these people, and you know, it's the first time they've really got something to play for beyond like pub matches and bots.
Because the winner of this match doesn't get horribly mocked on my channel.
That's basically it, yeah. This time there is a ward there guarding against the gank attempt here by MsChif. So unlike the last time where she thought it was warded and it wasn't, this time it is warded.
I have an uncle named Ward.
And this is a problem because here comes Ramza. And there's the Dragon ult, but that's not going to save you. I must say I'm a little disappointed with MsChif here. I tend to think of her as a reasonably good player, and she's 0-2, so there is that. Jiggerman doing a good job of cleaning up, though. He got Viking Sun, and he gets Ramza, making that a 2 for 2. But Jdawg comes in. And there's the ult from Jdawg with the Cataclysm, also known as the Are You Not Entertained ult. So let's see here. Let's check back in on Kevin's farm here because, of course, he said he did a good job farming. And he is doing a good job. He is second on his team in farm with 62 CS. So he is actually, this is probably the best I've seen him farm.
I've heard that Kevin's so bad at farming that he couldn't farm if you spotted him a donkey and 10 pounds of seeds.
He couldn't. He did a little bit better job of using the ult there, but again, a little bit too early. Kind of like Jackbrody in the last game. I feel that they are both underestimating just how much health Dr. Mundo has.
I would also preface that by saying I don't even know what that means.
Basically, Dr. Mundo is a gigantic individual who has amazing regenerative properties and a lot of health.
That sounds like a good thing.
So kind of think of him as like the Blob from X-Men.
Neat.
If I were to make a, if I'm, I have prepared Marvel comic references for every champion.
Jdawg.
Yeah, Jdawg down here at bottom, trying to help out Reaver against BockNack. He seems very indecisive about what he wants to do there, though. Like, no Demacian standard, flag toss, no spear. Like, clearly wants to engage, but doesn't seem to see an opening. And then he leaves right as I would say an opening came there, because there's the ult from Fiddle, and he's dead. So shame on you, Jdawg, for leaving the fight before it even started.
You, sir, smell of hypocrisy and shame.
In the meantime, we're getting a gank up top from MsChif. There's the Dragon ult. But a flash from Kevin gets away. I'm going to point out a problem here with the jungler top lane combination for the blue team. And what I'm going to point out with that is that I feel that it's a little bit of a problem when you have no hard CC in your top lane and no hard CC from your jungler. For those of you who do not know what CC is, that's crowd control, basically things like stuns, slows, that kind of thing. And someone's going to, make a smart comment in the comments and say, well, Shyvana and Dr. Mundo have CC, but they both have like relatively short, relatively ineffective slows. And without the hard CC and like two soft CCs, I'm just not sure if a successful gank on a pretty tanky Darius at this point is really going to work. And she gets caught in the jungle. She gets Cataclysm. She gets lasered. Probably a bit of overkill from the purple team, to be honest. I think the Cataclysm was good enough.
To be honest, she is to be feared and therefore overkilled.
True. It's fair enough. I'm never going to complain with a teammate overkills something. But, we'll see if that comes back to play a role later on.
I believe it was Gandhi that once said overkill is underrated.
It is. And here's Brad against Law getting smacked by a turret. Again, showing a little bit of inexperience, unfamiliarity with the turret range. And the Lux ult misses Jiggerman, and Jiggerman's going to get the kill. But is he going to escape the turret? The answer to this question is no. So we wind up with just an exchange middle instead of a proper kill. This seems like a good moment to pause and start up part number 2.
I agree.